Hello, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening from whatever part of the world you're tuning in from. My name is Tracy Naubert and I am your English expert for the IELTS exam. I'm a postgraduate student at the School of Education in Trinity Western University, Canada, and I'm currently en route to a PhD in English. My academic training is on TESOL, which is teaching English to speakers of other languages just like yourself, and I used to mark the IELTS exam at the British Council. So my daily nuggets are designed to tell you some of the things that I fail candidates for and basically to help you watch out for them. So this week we've been on the writing module, my favorite part of the English language, and my topic today is using simple vocabulary. So, in my videos this week, I've talked a lot about different topics, but I've often always, floated a little bit around the area of using language that is simple instead of using verbose language. Today, I'm doing a whole topic on it because I recognize that it is a thing. And usually, it's L2 users, so usually second language users that often go for bogus language. Sometimes I know that people feel, when I use big grammar, when I use big language, then that way it means I have learned the language. It means I'm an expert in the language, and it means I will be respected in the language. I think that you should always approach language use from a point of view of communication, semantics, how we create and transfer meaning. If someone has to read something that you've written and they have to have a dictionary beside them every time they're trying to navigate one sentence to the other, then you will see that it becomes problematic even understanding what you're saying. And at the end of the day, remember, it's a human being that is marking your script, i.e. me, not some computer. That being said, the human being has feelings, emotions. You have, you have your own thought processes around the job that you're doing. And if someone is making you reach for a dictionary each time you have to read their work, chances are that you might not even want to put your whole heart into what you're reading. And before you know what's going on, you could get biased and then just jump over that script and go to something else. Because if you enjoy something, you are more likely to spend more time with it. But if you don't enjoy something, you're not going to put your brain through that touch. Oh no, you'll move on and wobble away. So think of your script as a piece of document that will be handled by a human being. If you were the one, would you want someone to label you with dictionary use when you have to mark the scripts? Chances are no. Already you feel tense enough, labeled enough that in addition to all the things you have to learn in your life as an adult, you have to add writing the IELTS exam to it. It terrifies most of you. So imagine how your marker feels. They've also got things going on, so why should they stress themselves out just to give you an A on your script? You have to make the process of earning your A easy. You have to make the process of getting your high band score easy. And the best way to do that is to be considerate of the person who is marking your script. I'll give you an example of some of the verbose words I'm talking about. For instance, if you want to write the word angry, some people would write livid. Okay. Livid might be popular in my world because I'm a language expert, so I've navigated the English language very well. But the average person really doesn't know what livid means, like at the top of your head. You'd only understand livid if it's used in a specific context that lets you understand that livid is what's there. But ordinarily, you're more likely to understand the word angry first before livid. Chances are that you'll hear livid and you'll either go for your phone and Google meaning of the word livid, or you reach for a dictionary if it's nearby. And that will take you like some 2 to 5 minutes just to understand what the person who's writing is trying to communicate to you. That already robs you of time. And somehow you might get lazy in your brain and say, you know what? I'm not going to bother trying to figure out the meaning of the word. I'll just assume whatever meaning I'm thinking that they are trying to say. And once miscommunication sets in, that's the beginning of failure in any writing piece. Once your reader doesn't take the time to understand what it is you're trying to say, you've already lost them. And once you've lost your reader, you're already going down the hill. So choose angry instead of livid. For instance, some people can also use ostentatious. I know that ostentatious means to be showy, to be flashy, to be loud with your clothing and everything and colors, but most people don't know the meaning of the word ostentatious. Chances are that you are even Googling right now to see the meaning of the word. So instead of writing ostentatious, can't you just write flashy? I mean, it's simple, it's easy. It conveys the same meaning because both words are actually synonyms. They're like sisters. So why not go for the simple version of the word? So that all you know that your marker has to do is to figure out whether you're obeying grammatical rules, whether you've got your spellings right, whether you've used your punctuations right, and whether you've got the right tone, and if your answer is in line with the question that you've been asked. Why should you add the concept of trying to decode your meaning with a dictionary to their extra problems? Think about it. Another word is gregarious. So gregarious means to be talkative, to be loud, to have an opinion for everything, basically to be in the limelight. Now you can also just say talkative. Someone is talkative is that they're gregarious. And talkative is easier to understand because most people know the meaning of the word talkative. Either they have heard it or they have used it commonly. It's the type of simple language that someone who is coming into the ESL classroom will have. So ESL, that's English as a second language, what we're doing here. So someone who's coming into the classroom already has an idea of the word talkative. Not just because talkative is common, but because talkative has a root word in its etymology, that's talk. So because you already know talk is to open your mouth and make speech sounds, then you know that talkative means someone who does this a lot. So why would you then leave this very simple, easy to understand word and cross over all the way to gregarious? You know, how many people even really know the meaning of the word gregarious, like used commonly? Not a lot. Shy is a simple version of the word taciturn. Who really even uses taciturn in everyday speech? You know, sometimes you guys really need to think about context of use before you employ words. If you're writing a scientific piece, an academic piece, or a really technical piece, you can go ahead to use words like taciturn, gregarious, ostentatious, livid. But if you're writing something as simple as an essay in the IELTS exam, where we are expecting you to produce somewhere between 700 and 1,500 words within 30 minutes to an hour, you really don't need to complicate the process of marking your script by using verbose language that is big. Another example is nonchalant. So nonchalant is when you are like indifferent, you don't really give a rat's ass about something. So when you say indifferent, it's easier to understand. But when you say nonchalant, people wonder, is he speaking French? Because you know it comes with language. It's a word that the English language has borrowed from France. So are you wondering, is the person saying is that French or is that English? And then your marker is doing this, doing that. That's a bit frustrating. Another one is big, gigantic. Just use big. Gigantic is too much. Little, small, tiny, and then some people go and write minuscule. Like, really? Are we going to be wondering what you're trying to say with that? Cantankerous means when someone is argumentative. So you can just use argumentative or arguing instead of saying that someone is cantankerous, because that's big verbose language. Clandestine, secretive. You can just use secretive. It's simple, it's easy, instead of using the word clandestine. Another one is sneaky, surreptitious. Surreptitious is not very common. Sneaky is more common, so use sneaky. Horrendous is not very common. However, bad is very common. So instead of writing horrendous, you can write bad. And people will still follow your meaning. Anytime you want to use a word, or maybe as you're practicing for your IELTS, you should take a bunch of words that are simple in their simplest forms, or a bunch of words that are complicated, like complex in terms of use, and then go and get their synonyms. So that way you're using simpler versions for those big words. Using large grammar doesn't mean that you're writing the best English. It just means that you're complicating your meaning. And the ideology behind writing is to transfer meaning through written words in code. So think about it the next time you go into your IELTS exam to write an essay. And our 10 minutes is almost up. Remember that this Sunday, which is tomorrow, I'm having an IG live session, and I'd like to invite you to my Q&A session on Instagram this Sunday. It's the 1st of November 2020, and I'll be answering all your IELTS related questions on Instagram from 7 p.m. West African time. That's GMT +1. To attend, all you have to do is follow at English Expert for IELTS and tune in by 7 p.m. If you'd like to email your questions to me ahead of time, please do that. Send your email to englishexpertforielts@theonlinelady.com. Remember that we're social. Just follow English Expert for IELTS everywhere on social media, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.